Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Okay. All right. So when I think we were discussing uh, Rama in Ramayana, last we were discussing about Bharat returning, and uh, he he's shocked to discover that his father has passed away and Rama is exiled. He uh, he's quite upset with his own mother, Kaikeyi, and disowns her, and he moves on. He's asked to become the king, which he does not agree to. Um, so now that he's returned, he realizes his father's passed away. The formalities of the funeral needs to take place. So the first thing they do, Vashishta and the others, they sorry. Okay, so Dashratha's body is soaked in oil. It's actually in a layer of oil. So that's to preserve his body till Bharat returns. Now they take that body out. They go to the funeral place. They cremate the body, and at the cremation, uh, there's men and women. In today's belief system, women usually don't go to the funeral homes, or where the funerals take place. But back then, even the women participated. So it goes that three wives, they actually went round uh, went to the fire on which Dashrath's body was burning. So the other misconception about women in our society is that, or at least about the past, is that the women performed the act of sati. None of the three women actually jumped into the fire. Yeah. So it was only Dashratha's body that was cremated, and that is it. Anyway, moving on. When they were coming back, Dashrath and Shatrughan, they really reminisced their time with their father, how they played in the yard and all that. There's the 13-day ceremony that takes place. At the end of the 13-day ceremony, there's some formalities that need to be completed. Bharat and Lakshman complete that and they come back into the palace. Here, Shatrughan is still angry. He's talking to Bharat and he's telling him, why couldn't my strong brother, who's Lakshmana, okay, why couldn't this strong fellow, why couldn't he overpower my father and then make Rama the king? He continues venting. He tells, oh, all of this happened because of mantra. And just as he's saying that, mantra starts walking in their line of sight. She's actually decked with beautiful jewelry, clothes, and all, fit to be a queen. Those sorts of clothes. He sees her and gets even more angry. He rushes to her and he drags her by the hand and he starts beating her up. When he does that, her jewelry, her pearls, everything start falling on the ground. And she's screaming. When she starts screaming, Kaikeyi comes running to protect her. As soon as Shatrughan sees Kaikeyi, he takes his anger out on her and he starts yelling at her. Bharat comes there. As soon as Bharat comes, she runs behind Bharat and she seeks his protection. Bharat stops Shatrughan. He says, calm down, Shatrughan. We are not supposed to do this. Shatrughan rebels. He says, why? It is because of these two women that all of our family is destroyed. Our family bond is destroyed. So why can't I do this? Then Bharat starts explaining, look, even I wanted to kill my own mother, but had I done that, Ram would never have spoken to me. Same here. You don't hurt a woman, don't hurt Mantra now, otherwise, we will not be able to show our faces to Rama. So let them go and let's move on. And this is how Mantra is saved. Otherwise, he was really angry. And this, to everyone's surprise, Bharat says that he also wanted to kill his own mother. That's how angry he was with her. Anyway, moving on. The next thing is Vashishta says. Vashishta approaches Bharata and says, "Now we have to crown you." Bharata says, "No, this is not my throne. It belongs to my brother. He's the eldest in the family, and traditionally that's how it is done. He's also being chosen by all of you. I cannot be the crown prince, or I cannot become the king of this palace." He immediately says, "We are now going to bring Ram." And to do that, he says, I have major civil works that need to be undertaken. What are the major civil works? He wants to build a road from the palace through to Shringverpur, where Guha lives, because that they know that that's how far at least Sumatra traveled with Ram. So they start building this huge road. The idea behind this is Bharat wants to take a lot of people, thousands of people. He wants to take them on that road. Now, there's a lot of description on what's considered to build this road. So it's not only clearing the pathways, it's leveling the ground. Bridges are built. There's places for people to rest. So when they have to travel, so there's places there for for rest. There needs to be food and water organized over there. And it's not just that. They're also looking at long term. This road is not just for him now anymore. It is for the society in general. So what they do is they start planting trees where there are no plants. So even back then they are conscious about the environment. They start building ponds and small uh, decorations along the roads, so people can enjoy that drive along that massive road. And it takes about 3 months for them to construct all of that. Uh, uh, Here, Vashishta asks, when close to the completion, Vashishta asks Bharat again, "Look, we need you to step up and become the king." Bharata refuses. He completely refuses, flatly refuses. So now that the road or the pathway to Shringverpur is constructed, Bharat starts traveling. He goes. His all the three ladies, the mothers, they all go. Uh, just for your information, they don't talk anything much about Kaikai. They just say that the three ladies uh, partake in that journey. There's a lot of well-known businesses. There's local people who travel. There's a huge army that goes. There's weavers, goldsmith, potters, etc. So number of people. There's thousands of people that go with them. There's elephants. There's chariots. People going by walk. So there's a massive platoon that goes to bring Ram back. And this is my take from it. The idea behind all of this is to give people a sense of belief that Ram is coming back. He wants to strengthen that society again. He wants to bring back their luster that was lost when Rama had left. He wants to make sure that all the other lesser kings in the empire, they respect the kingdom. They know that it is not divided. So this is his idea, and that's my take on it. So it puts to rest all of those fears that the council had at the very beginning. Now, once they reach Shringverpur, actually when they're close by, the messengers of Guha who helped Ram cross that river there, They come and tell him that Bharat is coming with a large army. So Guha first starts thinking, oh, now Bharata is not only, he's got the kingdom, but he's not satisfied. He wants to go and kill Ram. So, but so he's asked all of his soldiers. He's like a little king over there, right? So he asked all his soldiers. There's about 500 boats with 100 people in each boat. So he asked all of them to be ready, get ready for battle. And he approaches Bharat. He introduces himself. He has a good conversation with him. Pleasantries are exchanged, and then he asks directly, "Have you come here to uh, fight with Ram?" Bharat is shocked. He's taken by surprise. He starts pleading his case. He says, "Look, I'm not responsible for all of this. It is my mother Kaikai who did this, and I'm only trying to bring Ram back." So he has to convince Guha, and it takes him a while. Guha is finally convinced, and then he uh, invites him over. He feeds them, and Bharat asks them, "Okay, that night when Ram was here, how what did he do? Where did he sleep? What did he do, etc." And Guha explains, "Look, that night Ram only drank water, nothing else. While Lakshman spoke with me." And he explains how that night went by and the next morning how they left, crossed the river. Bharat is quite sad. He says, "From here on, I'm going to live the way my brother is living." So he takes an oath over there. Uh, Guha then helps all of them cross the river. There's 500 boats there, chariots, and a lot of people go use the boats. There's elephants that are only just crossing the river. There are some others who, soldiers and all, they don't want to be ferried around, so they swim across. They kind of have a challenge. They swim across the river. So finally, everyone crosses the river and they're on the other side. Uh, they're close to Bharadvaja Muni's ashram. Bharat uh, stops everyone. He just takes a small party like Vashishta and a few others, and he goes towards the ashram. I'll stop here because it's 8:15, and we can take the rest of the session on Bharata's journey into Bharadvaja ashram next week. Okay, now coming to Bhagavad Gita. So we started chapter 6. Chapter 6 is Dhyana Yoga. Dhyana is meditation. I also, I think in the last class, I explained to you Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, how it starts off explaining what samadhi is, and then the 8 steps to reach that ultimate goal. Well, I found some parallels between that and what Lord Krishna is explaining. So I will we'll start. I'll just explain the first few verses, and we'll go into reading next week. Can Before I start, I just want to understand. Say you are still on your holidays. During your holidays, what is it that you like to do? Anyone? Just a few things. Nobody? You like playing games? Yep, go on.
Watching shows that I hadn't had the chance to watch during school.
Videos. Yep, brilliant. What else? Anyone? Play sport, video games,
Catching up on sleep.
catching up on sleep. Yeah. Okay. There may be other things that you wanted to do. So all of these things that you said, or catching up on sleep, or watching videos, playing games, whatever it is, these are what you want to do. They are your desires. Okay. And it is these desires that force you to act in a certain way. Now imagine what we spoke about some time ago. We described the chariot where the actual wooden uh, frame of that chariot represents your body. The horses represent your mind. Represent your senses. The reins your mind, and the charioteer the intellect. So when you have desires, when you don't have that intellect controlling your mind, you want to sleep in. Yes, you might sleep until 10 o'clock. You want to watch videos. You might be watching videos till 2 o'clock in the morning. You might want to play games outside, uh, catch up with friends, watch movies, do things. All of that is desires. You have left all of your routine aside just to entertain your desires. Now that school is back on, you are forced into a routine. Okay, so why am I telling that? You're starting to now use your intellect. Uh, so this chapter starts talking about desires and about karma yoga, about what we have discussed previously. So everyone has desires. So uh, and giving up your desires is not exactly giving up your desires, but giving up the results of your desires is one part of karma yoga. So that is where chapter 6 starts. Uh, this is kind of going back into one of the previous chapters. And Lord Krishna says, say for instance, you guys started playing a sport, okay, and you have a game over the weekend. If you go and you only want to play the best, that's fine. But if you're expecting to see the results, all right, you think that's a weak team, you're going to win, and you're going to win by this much, you're going to score XYZ, then you're already anticipating the results. So, in the very first paragraph, in the first verse, Lord Krishna is saying, giving up the uh, results. You're you're doing what you have to do. This is karma yoga. Okay, you're such a person who is just doing their karma, performing their actions without looking at the fruits of their actions. That person is a sannyasi or a true karma yogi. Here he mixes up the two words, sannyasi and a karma yogi. Sannyasi is somebody who's given up everything. It could be even uh, giving up their material lifestyle. But what Lord Krishna is saying is, one who gives up the fruits of the actions is equal to that sannyasi. Okay, so that's where Lord Krishna starts chapter 6. Um, Now imagine uh, you have a party to go to. All right, you are really excited about the party. You know you're going to meet a few people. There's going to be dance. You're going to buy lovely clothes just for that party. Uh, Dress up. You'll take your time to dress up. You'll go. You want to have fun. Now, when that happens, you're desiring. You're having certain expectations. You want to go into that party and have some fun, right? So the uh, flip side to this is you have somebody who's given that option to go to the party, will go to the party, and has no expectations. All right. So that we're comparing the two people. One person goes to the party with all the expectations. Say you go into the party. One, you might have an absolute ball. You might enjoy, come back, all the fun is over. Okay. The flip side to that could be you could go there. Uh, you might be traveling in a car, some flat tire. You're late to the party. When you go get there, everybody started the party. You missed out on something, so you're not happy. You're taking a drink. Somebody spills a drink on you. The night is a complete mess. Whereas the other person who's not had any expectations, okay, who's not uh, relying on the party to for their uh, pleasure, that person goes to the party. Things can go wrong, but they can still be calm and collected. They won't, it won't bother them that things have gone wrong. Okay. And if things go very well, it won't bother them either. Because Either way, the reason is they're just going there because they have an invitation. They want to meet a few people. They want to be a part of something without any attachment to to the entertainment that it brings them. So that's the two aspects of um, life that we can see. And here Lord Krishna is saying somebody who's doing karma yoga will be like the second person. Okay, they can go and uh, be the same no matter what, and yet this person is now a karma yogi. They are now moving on to the advanced state. Some with Arjuna, all he's doing is he's performing his karmas. So far he's only performing his karmas, and if he's giving up all his desires, then he's a karma yogi. But now somebody who's trained themselves to be a karma yogi have gone beyond that step, beyond their actions. Okay, so karma is action based. So they've gone beyond their actions. Now they can start looking inward. They're starting to look inwards in the sense they're starting to contemplate, which leads to meditation. So this is what we even looked at when we are looking at uh, uh, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras. So he starts at Yama and Niyama, which are external. Then he sits down, asana, and then he starts contemplating on the inside, the breathing and all that, and they start looking on the inside. So we are along the same pathway now. Where are we? Okay. So um, what's inside? Now, I explained to you just a few minutes ago about the chariot. All right. What's inside the mind? What is in your mind? There's constantly something or the other thing going on. When you're performing actions, your mind is engaged in that activity. Okay. If you're not engaged in that activity, you're dreaming, you're doing something or the other. Right. And this is where the external senses can take over. If you let those external senses take over, you are not thinking on the inside. You're not controlling it with your mind. So this is where Lord Krishna starts telling you need to. An advanced person has moved beyond actions and is starting to contemplate or starting to look inwards for their happiness. Okay. Uh, and then he also says, once you start looking inwards, you realize that it is you yourself who can uh, uh, take you to that advanced state of yoga. How? And why is it you yourself? I'm here sitting here explaining things to you, guiding you, giving you things. But unless you take action, it will not happen. So you yourself have to take yourself to that destination. So imagine you are running a marathon. So there's two people. One who's never run a marathon, who's likes the idea of a marathon and wants to go there. The other person who's trained for it. They have the stamina. They have done everything in their power to uh, 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 be able to run that marathon. The two people start running. The first person cannot run a decent distance at all. The reason is they haven't trained for it. They don't have the stamina. So they themselves are their worst enemy. They know that there is a marathon. One person's trained for it, the other person hasn't. So the first person is their own worst enemy. Whereas the other person, they've trained. They're in their case, they are their own best friend. So this is how Lord Krishna distinguishes between uh, a yogi who's in an advanced state and a yogi who's just following some of their who's just following karma yoga. So he's saying you're moving beyond karma now to go into that advanced state. The reason I explained this using sports and other things is something you can understand. Now, do you guys have to apply this in your everyday life? Seriously, you guys are kids. And for now, have an understanding of all of this, but don't worry too much about applying it in your life. There will come a time when you will become serious about it. It might be sooner, it might be later. It might be when you have kids, they are retired, sorry, and you are retired. That's the time maybe when you will want to go down this path. Some others maybe sooner, but don't worry too much about it right now. Think of this as somebody giving you some knowledge. Okay. All right. Now, in verse 5 and 6, Lord Krishna is talking about, uh, of course, you being your own best friend, uh, and you being your own worst enemy. But he also talks about uh, obligatory duties. So you are performing your obligatory duties. So this goes back to a couple of verses too, where he tells uh, that somebody who's reached that advanced stage, they will shun all the rituals too. So say for instance, you have a sport, you are dedicated to that sport. You go, you train, you play games, and your weekend game is around lunchtime, right? Traditionally, ritually, you have your food at say 12:30 in the afternoon. But now you have a game. What you do is you either adjust to it. You either have your lunch before, or you have a proper brunch, or you have your lunch after the game. Okay. Now this is where somebody who is in advanced stage, they even give up all the rituals, traditional rituals. What he's leaning towards ritual practices of people who only perform karma. So you and me, uh, we are not at that stage where we are advanced. We can go into meditation. We can go to that stage where we are contemplating all the time. So we perform some rituals. What is it? We wake up in the morning, we brush our teeth, we take a shower, we pray to the idol in front of us, the medium for us, that is God. Then we go to school, we go to work. In my case, so we have a ritual. But for those who have gone to that advanced stage, they forego all those rituals. They don't have to pray to an idol. They can contemplate and sit in a quiet corner and contemplate on their own. So this is uh, how an advanced yogi thinks and meditates and does things. So there's a few other steps after this. I think we've come to the end of our session today. We'll read some of these verses next week and move on to the next verses. Anyone have any questions?